On the morning of March 3, 1989, 5-year-old Justin Turner commenced his day with a delightful bowl of Cinnamon Crunch cereal, preparing himself for the adventures of kindergarten. Residing in Berkeley County, South Carolina, he lived with his biological father, Victor Turner, and his stepmother, Pamela Turner. Each day, Justin would embark on a charming stroll to a neighbor's home in their serene rural community near Moncks Corner to catch the school bus. However, on that fateful morning, he did not arrive at the neighbor's house, vanishing somewhere along the route from his home to the driveway. His classmates at Moncks Corner were left bewildered by his absence on that Friday, as they noticed he was missing from the bus destined for Whitesville Elementary School. Initially, they speculated that he might be unwell, but this notion was swiftly dispelled when the afternoon bus returned, and Pamela awaited her stepson at the end of the driveway, as was her custom. When Justin failed to emerge from the bus, panic ensued, prompting his stepmother to sound the alarm and report his mysterious disappearance. Family members and law enforcement launched an extensive search for the sweet, blonde-haired boy, known for his friendly disposition and with no history of wandering off. Yet, despite their efforts, Justin remained elusive. The enigma surrounding Justin Lee Turner's disappearance left a haunting array of questions. Was his departure a choice, or had he been taken against his will? Or was there an even darker fate that awaited the innocent child? Justin Lee Turner entered the world in 1983, the cherished son of Elaine Pace and Victor Turner. Beneath his bright exterior, however, lay the weight of his parents' crumbling marriage and eventual separation, leaving him yearning for the comfort of a stable family life. Victor and Elaine's relationship was marked by turbulence from the outset of their union in January 1976. By the mid-1980s, their bond had irreparably frayed, leading to a divorce that granted Victor primary custody of Justin. Elaine, fiercely devoted to her son, remained a constant presence through weekend visits and daily phone calls, resolutely seeking to alter the custody arrangement. Initially, investigators considered the possibility that Justin's biological mother, Elaine Pace, might have played a role in his disappearance. However, their inquiry soon established that both Elaine and her current husband were at their respective workplaces when Justin went missing. Deputies James Gaither and Philip Mason swiftly responded to the 911 call placed by Justin's stepmother Pamela, later known as Megan Turner. The authorities conducted a comprehensive search of the residence, its surrounding property, the camper, and the entire estate. Every possible avenue was explored. Ponds were meticulously dredged, wooded areas scoured in a systematic manner, and fields thoroughly examined. With each passing moment, the chilling prospect grew more pronounced. It seemed increasingly plausible that Justin had been abducted by an unknown individual who had whisked him away from the vicinity. In the span of merely 2 days since Justin's last sighting, the anxiety enveloping his family grew increasingly unbearable with each fleeting moment. On that fateful Sunday, March 5, 1989, the search efforts included over 100 dedicated individuals, comprising law enforcement, volunteers, and specialized rescue teams, all united in their mission to meticulously comb through the Turner estate. It was not until the third day of this desperate search that a tragic revelation unfolded, as Justin's father, Victor, stumbled upon a heart-wrenching truth. Victor discovered his son's lifeless form hidden within a storage compartment of a travel camper situated on their property along Horseshoe Road, south of Cross Hill. The young boy had suffered a brutal strangulation and violation, yet there was no indication of prior abuse or mistreatment leading up to his untimely death. In a haunting detail, one of Justin's small hands was found clutching a tuft of animal hair. Despite earlier searches conducted by law enforcement, the camper had remained a concealed grave until Victor's devastating find, prompting suspicions that the boy's remains had been placed there after the initial search efforts had commenced. The community was left reeling from the tragic discovery, grappling with the horrific circumstances surrounding the loss of such an innocent life. Over the years, investigators have nurtured various theories and suspicions regarding Justin's killer, yet crucial evidence linking a suspect has remained frustratingly elusive. Following the grim discovery, Deputy Philip Mason asserted that he had searched the camper prior to the tragic finding, but subsequently failed a polygraph test concerning that search. However, conflicting narratives arose, as both Justin's paternal grandmother and a neighbor claimed to have conducted their own searches of the camper before the boy was found. Authorities encountered significant obstacles in securing the scene for evidence collection, as a multitude of individuals had traversed the property in the days leading up to the discovery. The unexpected revelation of Justin's body left detectives bewildered, pondering how he could have been placed there without detection. The chilling temperature of Justin's body, notably cold despite the region's mild climate during his disappearance, sparked speculation that it may have been refrigerated prior to its placement in the camper. Following the discovery, Justin's body was transported for autopsy, with the investigation team augmented by agents from the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division and crime scene specialists. A variety of items were seized for analysis, including a freezer and a storage shed located on the premises. The medical examiner indicated that Justin was likely assaulted shortly before his death, although the exact timing remained ambiguous. Nevertheless, the notion of refrigeration prior to his placement in the camper was dismissed. A subsequent inquiry unfolded, revealing additional insights and familial tensions through witness testimonies. During discussions surrounding the autopsy, it was disclosed that Justin had food in his stomach, which refined the estimated time of death to between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. on the day he vanished. Despite lingering uncertainties, the likelihood of a stranger's involvement in Justin's abduction and concealment within the trailer appeared minimal. Criminal psychology expert David A. Caldwell posited that Justin was probably killed by someone he knew. Investigators turned their attention back to questioning the parents, yet none could provide clarity regarding Justin's presence in the camper. Pamela reiterated her original account, stating that Justin had left for school while she was in the shower, completely unaware of any issues, until she noticed his absence when the school bus returned later that day. Victor Turner maintained that he was occupied with his work as a pipe welder. With no witnesses confirming Justin's departure from their home that Friday, scrutiny shifted towards Victor and Pamela, both of whom underwent questioning and polygraph examinations, ultimately failing to clear their names. In the days following their polygraph tests, the Turners chose to cease communication with investigators after securing legal representation. This decision fueled growing suspicions, leading to heightened media attention and rampant speculation. Lieutenant Sidney Wren of the Berkeley County Sheriff's Department took it upon himself to address the swirling rumors. Eventually, Pamela admitted to having had a confrontation with her 5-year-old son prior to the moment she claimed to have last seen him alive. Furthermore, she allegedly misled investigators regarding her activities that day. Initially, they had stated that he boarded the school bus and went to school, only to never disembark. This assertion was proven false. He had never boarded that bus at all, as he lay lifeless within their home. In light of this evidence, the jury recommended a warrant for Pamela's arrest on charges of homicide. Upon her arrest, Pamela displayed no discernible reaction. The case was subsequently reviewed, and all charges against her were dismissed due to a lack of sufficient evidence linking her to Justin's death. Following the dismissal of charges, the case was presented to a grand jury in the early 1990s, yet no indictments were issued. Pamela later adopted the name Megan, and she, along with Victor Turner, departed from Berkeley County, severing all communication with the sheriff's office concerning the ongoing case. In January 1991, a young witness, merely 6 years old, came forward, asserting that they had witnessed Justin's abduction on the very day he vanished. Yet, subsequent inquiries failed to uncover any definitive evidence. Tragically, Justin's biological mother, Elaine Pace, succumbed in 2004 after a relentless 15-year pursuit for justice for her son. Her husband, Russell Pace, vowed to carry on Elaine's quest. "I made a promise to my wife before she left this world that I would continue the fight. She urged me not to relent, to keep the story alive, and to champion her cause. That was one of her final wishes." In 2014, Justin's family endeavored to rekindle public interest in the case. By 2020, more than 30 years later, the unsolved homicide gained renewed attention from a dedicated cold case team within the Berkeley County Sheriff's Office. This case was among 9 cold cases being revisited by a full-time investigator and 2 volunteers. Sheriff Dwayne Lewis disclosed that new leads were emerging thanks to advancements in technology. "We are certain that Justin was strangled. There were ligature marks evident on his neck. We have recovered what we believe to be crucial evidence of the murder. Our forensic findings have significantly progressed due to modern technology and forensic science. Given that Justin's body, clothing, and shoes bore no traces of external debris, authorities speculated that he had been transported from his home to the camper. The precise location of the body suggested it had been hidden by someone well acquainted with the camper and its interior. According to the probable cause affidavit, the Turners were the only individuals with access to the camper and its keys prior to the discovery of Justin's body. Victor Turner was heard anxiously inquiring with a law enforcement officer present at the scene about the implications if a family member had inflicted harm upon the victim. The pivotal moment in the investigation of Justin's murder unfolded in April 2021, more than 30 years after his tragic demise. Forensic analysis revealed fibers discovered in the Turner residence that were linked to injuries on Justin's neck and his garments, providing the crucial evidence necessary for the arrests. Sheriff Dwayne Lewis attributed the success to the evolution of forensic science, stating, "We possess a wealth of forensic evidence. Our progress is a result of cutting-edge technology and forensic medicine, and our relentless pursuit finally yielded the results we sought." The apprehension of Justin Lee Turner's stepmother, Megan Turner, alongside his father, Victor Turner, on January 9, 2024, represented a monumental advancement in the long-standing investigation into his murder. Both individuals faced a charge of murder and were taken into custody in Lawrence County before being transferred to the Berkeley County Detention Center for their court proceedings. Despite the years that had elapsed, the Turners refrained from reaching out to the sheriff's office regarding updates on the case or any potential new leads or suspects. This disengagement stood in stark contrast to the proactive involvement of Justin's maternal family, who consistently supported law enforcement's endeavors. A significant piece of evidence surfaced from an affidavit, revealing that Victor Turner had discovered Justin's body mere seconds after entering the camper during the search efforts on the morning of March 5, 1989. This revelation further fueled suspicions regarding the Turners' potential involvement. In the court sessions of February 2024, both Victor and Megan were granted their release, with a bond set at $50,000 each. Megan was liberated on February 8, 2024, followed by Victor's release the next day. However, the trajectory of their legal battle shifted dramatically when their legal representatives sought to have the murder charges dismissed. The defense introduced a novel theory, positing that a serial killer might have been involved in the tragic demise of Justin. In response, prosecutors requested additional time to thoroughly investigate the emerging evidence, recognizing its critical importance. The judge agreed to postpone a ruling, allowing both sides to further explore the ramifications of this new development. Prosecutors presented evidence indicating that a dog leash discovered in the residence could have been utilized in Justin's strangulation. Nevertheless, the defense team raised skepticism from experts regarding the leash's sole culpability in the murder, suggesting that a dog collar might also have played a role. As the conclusion of their most recent trial approached, Victor and Megan were instructed to refrain from contacting Justin Turner's biological mother's family, and were barred from leaving the state while awaiting subsequent legal actions. Represented by Justin's cousin, Amy Parsons, the family expressed a sense of relief following the extended investigation and reaffirmed their commitment to seeking justice. Amy, who was merely 8 years old at the time of Justin's tragic death, has been a relentless advocate for her cousin. She founded the Justice for Justin Lee Turner Facebook page and has passionately campaigned for answers and accountability. In light of defense strategies aimed at discrediting the case, Parsons implored the public to remain resolute and emphasize the significance of evidence in shaping their judgments. Elaine Pace's unwavering dedication to uncovering the truth remained steadfast until her final moments, a powerful reflection of a mother's profound love amidst sorrow. As the legal battle unfolds, Justin's family stands resolute in their mission to ensure that Megan and Victor Turner face justice for his untimely death. Although Justin's life was tragically extinguished, his spirit endures in the hearts of those who cherished him, fueling their relentless pursuit of justice in his name. The funeral service for Justin, held at the serene Somerville Cemetery in Dorchester County, South Carolina, was attended by over 200 mourners. Laid to rest with his beloved possessions, the premature loss of Justin Lee Turner has left an indelible mark on both his family and the broader community. Rather than celebrating milestones and achievements, Justin's legacy is forever preserved in the memories of him as the vibrant, innocent child he once was.
A child known as Baby Holly has been discovered 42 years after her disappearance, bringing an end to a long-standing enigma that has haunted her family for decades. The resolution of this mystery, nearly 40 years in the making, offers a bittersweet solace to the grieving relatives of Holly Marie Klaus. In 1980, Harold Dean Klaus and his wife, Tina Lynn, along with their infant daughter, Holly Marie, embarked on a journey from their native Florida to Houston, Texas. Tragically, after their departure, the young family vanished without a trace, leaving their loved ones in a state of perpetual uncertainty regarding their fate. Thanks to advancements in modern genealogy testing, the truth behind this decades-old case has finally emerged, revealing the grim discovery of the couple's remains in a wooded area. However, the whereabouts of their one-year-old daughter, Holly, remained a haunting question. While one chapter has closed, another has opened as the Klaus and Lynn families inch closer to uncovering the truth. The lingering mystery persists. What became of Holly Marie Klaus? Is she alive, or did she meet a tragic end like her parents? Who bore the responsibility for the devastation of this young family all those years ago? For 4 decades, the family of Harold Klaus held on to a flicker of hope, yearning to uncover the fate of their cherished son and brother. The mysterious vanishing of a young man, his wife, and their precious daughter cast a long shadow over their lives, leaving them to ponder the circumstances surrounding this tragic event. With uncertainty clouding their minds about whether the trio was alive or deceased, the families embarked on an unyielding quest to locate their loved ones, grappling daily with the haunting question of what had transpired. The agonizing ordeal reached a resolution recently when forensic genealogists verified that remains discovered in 1981 belonged to Harold Klaus and his wife, Tina Lynn. Yet a poignant question lingered. What had become of their 1-year-old daughter, Holly Marie Klaus? After 40 years, clarity finally emerged. In the summer of 1980, Klaus confided in his mother, Donna Casasanta, about a promising job opportunity in Houston, Texas. Eager to provide for his wife, Tina, and their infant daughter, Holly Marie, he felt compelled to seize this chance. The young couple made the heartfelt decision to relocate to Texas, bidding farewell to their families in Florida. With their belongings in tow, they embarked on a journey filled with anticipation for the future that lay ahead. Settling in Houston, they embraced the prospect of a new life in an unfamiliar city. A photograph captures the couple, radiating joy, with baby Holly nestled between her delighted parents. Little did they know this would be one of the final moments they would share as a family. Months passed without a word from the Klaus and Lynn families after their move to Houston, igniting a growing concern among their loved ones. Determined to uncover any trace of the missing family, the Klaus and Lynn families tirelessly searched for answers, clinging to hope throughout the years. Tragically, they were never seen or heard from again. A young family had seemingly vanished without a trace, leaving their loved ones in a state of profound anguish and uncertainty. The families were tormented by the mystery of their disappearance. During a drive along the freeway, Donna, Harold's mother, caught sight of a young man whose features mirrored those of her missing son. She mused, "I always believed he was out there, waiting to ring the doorbell and say, 'Hello, Mom.'" Despite the relentless reminders of their absence, the Klaus family clung to hope, unwavering in their desire for reunion. Years turned into decades, yet Donna's resolve to find her son never wavered. With the advent of advanced genealogy testing, the Klaus and Lynn families finally uncovered the truth about their cherished son and daughter. The Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences disclosed that a single phone call had cracked a case that had remained dormant for 40 years. A family that had once disappeared without a trace was finally located after many years. On January 12, 1981, a chilling discovery was made at the edge of Wallaceville Road, where the remains of a young man and woman were uncovered in a densely wooded area. Following this grim revelation, an investigation was launched, and a forensic artist was enlisted to create reconstructions of the victims. Mary Mize, Harris County's forensic artist, produced several pastel renderings, yet, being newcomers to Houston, no one recognized the faces. Inquiries yielded no fruitful leads, given the limitations of DNA testing in the 1980s. Law enforcement was unable to establish the identities of the deceased, leaving the families in the dark and the case cold for nearly 4 decades. In 2021, Allison Peacock, a senior forensic genealogist, was engaged by Identifinders International, a distinguished team of genealogy specialists. A seasoned expert was summoned to aid in unraveling a case that had languished in obscurity for 4 decades. Under the guidance of Peacock, the dedicated team of forensic scientists devoted countless hours to examining the remains, striving to uncover the identities of the individuals involved. Their efforts bore fruit when they contributed fresh data to the genealogy platform gedmatch.com, ultimately leading to a significant breakthrough. A poignant phone call was soon placed to a family that had long yearned for closure. Senior forensic genealogist Allison Peacock took on the solemn responsibility of contacting the Klaus family to reveal that their cherished son and brother, Harold, had been located after all these years. As she reached out, Allison inquired, "Do you have a relative who vanished long ago?" Brooks, Harold Klaus's sister, answered with a heavy heart, "Yes, my brother disappeared around 40 years ago, Harold Klaus Jr." With great compassion, Allison delivered the devastating news. "We have found him. He was murdered." The revelation was a heavy burden for the family, who sought to understand the circumstances surrounding the tragic loss of their loved ones. At that moment, the only detail available was that Harold's remains had been discovered in January 1981, merely a year after he, his wife Tina, and their infant daughter Holly had relocated to Houston. Though shattered by the grim fate of her son, Harold's mother, Donna, found solace in finally knowing the truth before her own passing. She had long feared leaving this world without answers regarding her son and his family. Brooks, grappling with the shocking news of her brother's tragic end and the fate that befell both him and Tina, was left reeling. She pressed Allison for information about the baby, to which Allison responded, "What baby?" Brooks insisted that they had a small child, less than a year old, whom she believed would be found alongside her parents. The absence of baby Holly introduced a new layer of complexity to the investigation. Once again, as one enigma found resolution, another emerged. The remains of their beloved granddaughter, Holly Marie Cluse, were conspicuously absent alongside her parents. While the family mourned the profound loss, gradually reconciling with the heart-wrenching tragedy that befell the young family, a pressing question lingered. What had become of baby Holly? Was she still among the living, or had she met a fate as dire as that of her parents, Harold and Tina? What was intended to be a conclusion to a long-standing mystery instead gave rise to a new one. The pursuit to uncover the fate of Holly Marie Klaus was now ignited. Should Holly Marie still be alive, she would be celebrating her 42nd birthday. In their relentless quest for answers, the family enlisted the expertise of genealogical detectives to unravel this seemingly unending mystery. Following the airing of the Klaus family's story in late 2021, fresh leads began to surface regarding the identity of baby Holly. Forensic genealogists diligently pursued these leads, meticulously following up on any new tips that emerged. Under the guidance of Peacock, the team had successfully identified Harold and his wife, yet their search for their precious daughter continued. The investigators were inundated with calls from numerous middle-aged women who believed they might be Holly. The passage of decades complicated the investigation, leaving the team grappling with even the most minute details, such as eye color. A photograph of Tina Lynn and Holly Marie surfaced weeks later, subsequently disseminated among various authorities. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children contributed to the search by creating an age progression image to visualize how Holly might appear today. Several individuals emerged as potential matches. The senior genealogist noted one woman whose phenotype bore a striking resemblance to Holly's, deduced from the shape of her chin, her eyes, and her nose. Additionally, 3 other women who claimed to be Holly opted to purchase ancestry DNA tests in an effort to eliminate themselves from consideration. Peacock maintained an unwavering optimism throughout the investigation into the fate of baby Holly, firmly believing that the key to unraveling this 4-decade-old enigma lay within the realm of science, with only the passage of time holding the answers. Her faith was ultimately vindicated. In early June 2022, after a staggering 40 years of lingering uncertainty, baby Holly Marie Klaus was discovered. Genealogists successfully traced her lineage to a 42-year-old mother of 5 residing in Oklahoma, who has opted to keep her identity confidential from the media. Investigators across 3 states undertook a meticulous examination of records, sifting through extensive data, which ultimately unveiled the truth surrounding Holly Marie Klaus. The newly established Cold Case and Missing Persons Unit within the Texas Attorney General's office made a significant public announcement in early June 2022, providing much-needed resolution to a mystery that had long haunted the Klaus and Lynn families. While the families grappled with the tragic murders of Harold and Tina, the revelation regarding baby Holly offered a glimmer of hope amidst their sorrow. After more than 40 years of vanishing without a trace, baby Holly Marie Klaus was confirmed to be alive. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has graciously offered to facilitate the reunion of Holly with the Lynn and Klaus families. However, this development has also led to an influx of questions for investigators. As the mystery approached resolution, the inquiries intensified, revealing a more intricate narrative of events that transpired in rural Houston decades prior. It was uncovered that Holly had been left at a church in Arizona, subsequently raised by a family unrelated to her disappearance, who are not considered suspects. The 2 women who brought baby Holly to that church were described as members of a nomadic religious group, adorned in flowing white robes and walking barefoot. Numerous individuals speculated that these women were affiliated with a cult, as they exhibited fervent convictions towards a particular belief system. Little information was disclosed about the women who presented baby Holly at that church in Arizona. From the scant details they shared regarding their faith, it became apparent that male and female adherents were segregated, and all members were required to adhere to a vegetarian lifestyle, eschewing non-vegan products. This itinerant group was thought to have roamed the southwestern United States, particularly in Arizona, California, and potentially Texas. Allegations of sightings of this group emerged in Yuma, Arizona, during the early 1980s. The women, clad in white robes, were observed in various towns, soliciting food. In 2021, following the confirmation of the identities of Harold Klaus and Tina Lynn, authorities revisited the case with renewed scrutiny, striving to unravel the circumstances surrounding this tragically violent and senseless act. In either December 1980 or January 1981, the Klaus family received a phone call from a woman identifying herself as Sister Susan. She claimed to be calling from Los Angeles concerning the couple's vehicle, expressing her desire to return it. As the conversation unfolded, she divulged that Tina and Harold had joined their religious community, opting to sever ties with their families and conventional society. Sister Susan further asserted that the couple wished to divest themselves of all material possessions to embrace a minimalist lifestyle within the community. She also purportedly requested financial assistance from the Klaus family to facilitate the return of the couple's car to Florida, where the Klaus family resided. What initially seemed dubious soon appeared profoundly out of character for the young couple, particularly Harold, who had departed for Houston with the intention of earning more to support his family. The Klaus family consented to a meeting with Sister Susan, yet their apprehension led them to notify the authorities. Shortly thereafter, a gathering occurred, attended by 2 or 3 women and a man, all adorned in identical white robes. Unfortunately, the police report detailing this encounter remains elusive, resulting in stagnation in the investigation. It is not uncommon for crucial documents and case files to vanish, particularly when a case has grown cold over several decades. Despite ongoing efforts, Texas officials have yet to locate this vital report. Remarkably, nearly 42 years later, officials announced a breakthrough. A spokesperson for the police department remarked, "This investigation underscores the diligent efforts and collaboration of various law enforcement agencies nationwide, emphasizing the significance of pursuing cold cases both in Texas and across the United States." While the discovery of Holly Marie, alive and well after 42 years, is a momentous occasion, authorities caution that it should not overshadow the grievous crime that befell her parents 4 decades prior. During a press conference, an official stated, "Today we celebrate Holly's return, and families who have sought her for decades share in this joy, yet we remain committed to identifying the suspects involved in this case." The authorities also disseminated several details to the public and media, hoping that renewed interest in the case would encourage individuals to come forward with information that could aid in solving it. Although the quest for justice continues without any leads, the discovery of baby Holly after all these years brings a glimmer of hope. She has established contact with her family via phone and expresses a desire to meet her biological relatives in person soon. Harold Klaus's mother, Holly's grandmother, felt a profound sense of relief upon finally uncovering the fate of her son and his family from 4 decades ago. Although the news of her son's untimely passing weighed heavily on her heart, Donna Casasanta found solace in the knowledge that Holly had survived. The long-awaited moment of reconnecting with her granddaughter brought her immense joy after all these years.